Because they're going to get rid of Aaron Jones. They're going to trade him and Devontae Adams, trade him and Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry,
because you can't keep that many contracts on your team.
No, you can't.
Are we actually live right now?
Yes,
bro.
You're paying attention.
You've been live the whole time and nobody said nothing to me?
You thought I was just playing the music for show?
I thought you were fucking around. You out here dressing like you barely missed the cut for Squid. What's that shit?
Squid Games.
Squid Game Season 2. You showed him in the wrong color tracksuit. Looking like Khabib. Woo! What's the little boy's name? Because that kid is hilarious.
What's up, people? Live from the Good News Studio in Manchester, California. Is that what we're calling it? Westchester, California. It's Touchdowns and Tangents.
The back
Your Thursday night
LAX.
spot for NFL takes and topical tangents. To my right, as always, the pettiest dude in the room.
Yeah.
Frank James Barry. What's up?
I mean, God is good. And all the time, you know, God is good.
Kenny was definitely that dude who couldn't sit next to his friends in class because he already all distracted.
Now I just look at the teacher like, I'm going to sit everywhere because you know I can talk to anybody. If you sit me next to the quiet chick, I'm going to get her number. So you can't risk that.
And then
you can't risk me coming up and becoming a force in the classroom like that. Because then I'm gonna be cupcaking with my girl in the back. So you pretty much
never had no girl in high school.
I didn't, but it's one chick.
Your shit was a song C. Your shit was.
Why are you living through like those early 2000 movies?
No, it was one chick. No, it was one chick who she got away, but that's because my teacher was hating. He's like, Kenny, stop massaging no girl in the back of the class. I was like, fuck, bro. I was
so familiar
type of childhood.
So familiar voice 1 and 2. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
This is Alex Himes from
troll.
Courtside Radio, crashing touchdowns and tangents once again.
Infringing on it, maybe?
And yo, it's your neighborhood, you know, uncle, Elam Square, Eric Lampkins here invading the studio with my guys from Touchdowns and Tangents.
Yeah, he did a fed knock on the door, and I was like my brain reset. I was
He
like,
said, flush the work.
He grabbed the backpack.
I just grabbed my backpack instinctually, like, wait, there's nothing in here. Why did I do that?
Hey, so you had the best reel so far on the Good News Sports Channel.
Which one?
The one about the Chiefs defense.
Yes, indeed.
Unfortunately, it didn't age that well because now the Chiefs are figuring it out.
No, their defense is still pretty abysmal.
It's
their offense that is starting to finally click.
Well, I guess any defense looks good against the Raiders.
It's like anytime you play. It's like anytime you play the Knicks the past 10 years. You go to the Garden, somebody on your team drops 40 because that was just the Knicks for like the past 10 years. That's just the Raiders for like the past 15 years.
This is why we don't
since
we don't pay you for basketball.
Since
takes.
2003, the team with the worst winning percentage is the Raiders.
And you know what's funny?
And the Knicks have been equally
What's
terrible.
funny is before that, they had the best winning percentage.
Yeah.
What goes up must come down.
All things are balanced. Damn.
One year,
terrible.
though, for the Patriots. That's it.
Okay, we're not talking about the Patriots right now, first off.
Oh, considering
we all
they
knew
just
they were
won
going to beat
tonight.
It must be
they
hard.
shut out the Falcons.
It must be hard to win a championship every 30 years.
It must be nice to just lose the best player in your franchise history and then you just draft his clone.
Yeah, it astounds me because I had said coming into the season the Patriots are going to be way better than what they were looking like on paper and how people were grading them.
I told you 10 games.
I said 10 games as well. Like they were going to be a 10-win team. And right now, I don't know what's clicked so much as I see that Mac Jones is getting a lot of freedom in the playbook, a lot of freedom now. He can air it out, and he actually is forming those connections with Hunter Henry and the likes of them, like Kendrick Bourne. And a lot of these receivers, even Aguilar tonight, looked decent, and that's something I never thought I would ever say.
But Myers caught a touchdown last week. His first ever.
That's the most important thing.
That's a record, by the way. He had like 156
52.
catches.
Was it 150? It was 151 at one point, and then I think it was 155 or
156 before he caught a touchdown.
But is it the receivers as much as it is Josh McDaniels? I think in that scheme, in that offensive system, you don't really need top tier wide receivers. You just need technicians. If you know how to create a modicum of separation, then you can excel. Because Kendrick Bourne was poo cheese, paltry at best in San Francisco.
He was a good number 4 or 5.
That's what Belichick has done though through every season. I mean, think about the receivers Brady had. Like the one outlier, was Randy Moss, right? But if you think about him, guys that were like
Deion Branch.
Nah.
Chris
Welker.
Hogan, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. Even I'll count Josh Gordon for
Shea
like half a
Caldwell?
seat. Yeah, Caldwell. Who else?
Ocho.
Ocho,
Nah, Ocho-
for like 5 minutes.
Ocho was terrible in that system.
And then you can count Tim Tebow
Ocho-
then as a tight
Ocho
end.
was a
Johnson.
deep threat who could still be a deep threat playing in the wrong system
Yep.
as a slot. So it wasn't going to work.
But think of those names though. None of those are the star-studded receivers. These are guys, a lot of them that were retooled. Chris Hogan and Julian Edelman, retooled players.
David Patton,
David Patton.
rest in peace. He's the one that died, right?
Yep.
Yeah, rest in peace.
These are all guys.
Why do
you
you
have
know
to
so
think
much
about
about
that.
the Patriots?
He died like 3-4 weeks
years ago.
I
No,
know.
no,
I'm just saying.
This was 3 weeks
This
ago.
man's a
Yeah.
wealth of Patriot knowledge.
This
I'm a
guy-
wealth of
no, no,
football
he's a closet
knowledge.
Patriot.
No, that's the
Patriot
thing.
man.
The way that you are with your football knowledge is the way I feel about my NBA knowledge, and that's something I respect about you. Like we can have a talk about any team, and you'll have the stat, the fact, the wild accusations, theories, like a literal tangent.
I can just talk about how Russell Wilson is going to leave, and he's going to leave. Let's be honest.
How many
going-
years does he have left at peak quarterback?
He's
Russell
four,
Wilson.
4 in the right
Three?
system.
Let's see. If
Imagine
he
Russell and
goes,
Falcons.
if he
Elite.
Oh.
no,
Top
no,
five
no,
quarterback.
no. If he went to the Falcons, he'd be done in a year.
Imagine I'm on the Raiders.
The Raiders,
That's a-
Raiders, I think have a
that's a Super
decent
Bowl
O line.
contender.
The
Nah,
Raiders,
y'all like
the Raiders
shit.
have a deep.
I wouldn't
Look
go
at
that far.
who does
Bro.
Seattle have right now on the offensive line? Less than the
have-
Raiders.
yeah, they
You could put him in
The dude from the
Indianapolis,
Senior
too.
Bowl that we
I
interviewed.
think if he goes
Indianapolis,
to,
too.
yeah, I was gonna say if he goes to
run the ball,
Indy
though.
or if he goes to Pitt or even Green
Pittsburgh.
Bay.
Nah.
This is going to be a cascade of like comedies, like cascade of issues if we see Wilson go to Green Bay and then Aaron Rodgers go someplace else to be determined.
He has to save Wisconsin for the second time in his career.
Mhm.
Yeah, college football. See, we know our stuff. But this is break down this Russell Wilson thing. Think about when he had nobodies at receiver. When they had to get
So
Golden.
most of his career.
Bro, Lockett is a problem. The Raiders passed on Lockett, and Lockett is a Pro Bowl receiver. And they passed on DK Metcalf, who, again, the Raiders passed on him. So don't give me PTSD right now with all the By the way, also,
You're bringing it
another
up.
dude he plays on defense, Rasheem Green for the Seattle Seahawks. He would have been a top 5 pick had he stayed for his senior year, but he's also kind of balling for the Seahawks. He would have been a really good Raider too.
Only took him
He'd
4
be
years.
perfect for their scheme. Yeah, because he was young. Like
Takes time for these guys to blossom sometimes.
him in particular, he was like better than Leonard Williams. He had 10 sacks, bro. He was better. He go back and look at
That's
the
an
year.
unpopular.
Go
opinion.
back and look at his last year at USC, bro. He was
I've
more
watched Rasheem
dominant
Green
than
tape.
Leonard Williams.
I've watched both.
They were like, this dude was running a 4.7, almost a 4.6, and could play 3 technique. Like Leonard Williams ran like a 4.9.
Yeah,
Like-
but Leonard Williams, he has
had
better
that range.
hands.
He has functional. He has defensive tackle technique. He doesn't have edge rusher technique. Like Rasheem Green.
Yeah, but I think it's more of a premier to be able to rush from the D tackle position than from
Yeah.
the edge.
But I'm saying you look at that
More of a
roster
luxury.
that Seattle has built. Russ just like, look, just give me a defense that can compete and give me a chance and give me an offense where I have one guy who can be consistent, tight ends who can at least do their job, and a run game that can at least give me 4 yards of carry or 3.8.
So let me
and
ask
Russ
you guys
does
this.
everything else. How many teams in the NFL literally have that? Miami would be extensively better if Russell was there. Houston would actually look like a playoff team if Russell was
So
there.
let me ask you guys this: if the Seahawks sneak into the playoffs,
They're not.
They're getting clapped.
if they do, let's
might
just say,
upset the
or
Rams.
if they miss it by half a game,
Okay.
is Pete Carroll out?
yes.
Is he done? Is the game passed him by?
I don't know if the game is passed them by. I think what Seattle needs to do is just really rebuild, retool.
Mhm.
Their identity for the past decade has been the Legion of Boom and that cover 3 defense. They don't have the requisite pieces in the secondary to run that same type of scheme, right? I would like to see. I think they do have some pieces where they could play more man, like traditional man cover 2. But But
I mean,
don't-
they really haven't had those pieces since those pieces left.
Yeah, exactly.
They've just been trying
Because
to
it's
recapture that.
they've been trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. So I think if he's honest about like what he has, I would, and this is gonna sound hella crazy, I would love to see like a 3-3-5 like really take hold in the NFL. And I think Pete is probably crazy enough to do it.
I mean, that's kind of
Jamal Adams
what
is-
Cam Chancellor was.
No, he was a linebacker playing safety. Jamal Adams is, by the way, Vince Wilfork.
Jamal Adams is more
He's so
weak
good.
side. He's not so good. He's pretty terrible. He's a weak side linebacker. He's a weak side linebacker. Like that's all he is a weak side linebacker.
So LaRon Landry, the one year he played with Sean Taylor.
So that was him benefiting from Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
Because what did LaRon Landry do after
not much.
Sean? Okay,
Get super jacked up. Like
Yeah.
super jacked up.
yeah, he was on roids.
How you
Shout
from
out-
LSU
shout out to Adam
Vitamin
Archuleta.
HGH.
running a
Shout out
4-3,
to Adam Archuleta.
running a 4-3 flat, already strong as shit, had like 90 strength in Madden. It made no sense. I definitely always put him at linebacker in Madden. But like you just look at what that defense is when your starting safety has more sacks than all your edge rushers, and Bobby Wagner's the only thing holding that defense together. Russ should not come back. Like it's just not smart for him to come back.
The only like silver lining that they have outside of Russ is DK and Tyler Lockett. Outside of
The
that, they
receiving
don't have
core,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say a receiving core because who's their number 3?
I mean, that's true. They're
Freddie
top two.
Swain when he wants to.
Yeah, you have 2.
Luke Wilson when they bring him back for an 87th
Luke Wilson
time.
is terrible. He can't block. He can't catch. He's just a guy taking up space.
He's just a fast tight end.
Is he fast?
He ran like a 4.5, 4.4.
He
So
doesn't play like that.
when you look
No.
at the when
He
you
was
look at
their
the
carrier, but he runs a 4.4.
when you look at the totality of the Seattle Seahawks, there's really 4 pieces, 4 cornerstones: Russ, Bobby Wagner, DK, and Tyler Lockett.
Adams,
They don't have an offensive line. They don't have a defensive line.
Yeah.
They don't have a secondary. Their offensive coordinator is terrible. Like, what is there to really build, around, or what is there to build towards, and what is there to build around? So if I'm Russ, I'm out of there because I don't have an offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't have a running game, right?
Imagine Russ on the Niners. That's an automatic.
No,
Super Bowl
don't get my
Nah, they're
don't
not
get my
that.
hopes up. Don't get my
No, it
hopes
could
up.
happen.
It's not
They'll
going
trade-
to happen.
they give up
just drafted a
compensation.
quarterback.
Gives a shit. I'll send fucking Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll send Lance to Seattle and Garoppolo to Houston.
Pete is not. He's not
I'm
gift
a Raiders
wrapping.
fan, but
He's
I'm
not
telling
gift
you what can
wrapping.
happen.
He's not gift wrapping 4
What if
consecutive
he's
Super
retired?
Bowls.
What if he's
to-
going to retire?
and what
And-
go to the
And Seattle just says fucking fire
What else?
sale.
What else is that man gonna do?
go back to USC.
No.
He's not going back.
Lincoln
He could go
Riley-
back. He could go back
Lincoln
to
Riley,
USC.
No.
No, listen. He could go
Sorry.
back to USC. He could make
Mediocre?
more money. He can make more money than he's making now. He can rebuild the USC brand
He's
like
old, bro.
overnight. He's not old.
He's
He's
like
not old. He was
70.
already old.
He's like 70.
How old is Bill Belichick?
I'll tell you what. I'll
He's a
tell you
warlock.
what.
Time like
I will tell you what.
because
I will give up a 2nd-round pick that the Raiders will probably fuck up anyways, and I will take Pete Carroll, one of the greatest fucking football coaches on the face of this earth right now. Period.
Pete is a great motivator, man.
He
And
is.
you don't need him to be an X's and O's guy. And Pete is smart enough to know, okay, let me go get people to do this. Go get you a Eric Bieniemy type. Go get you a young, defensive minded.
Ken Norton Jr. is a defensive coordinator for the.
He's terrible,
Seahawks.
bro. He's terrible.
He's terrible.
He was already at the Raiders. So again, who is he bringing from his staff?
Go pilfer the D coordinator from the Chargers.
So you really think Pete Carroll's just in the grave?
He's done.
Disrespectful.
When they die, don't put his money in the grave because it's not gonna.
I just don't know what else that man is gonna do.
Well, we're
I mean, he
chill.
could retire. Just
Be
chill.
a motivational
Go be
speaker.
an
Don't
analyst.
retire.
He could be an analyst.
Coaches do retire.
He would be
They
an
don't
analyst.
retire.
Les Miles
He
is
would
somewhere
stay
doing
around the
nasty
game.
shit to an intern somewhere, probably.
He could
Yeah,
replace Lee
he's
Corso.
canceled.
He could replace Lee Corso.
Fam, Lee Corso is irrelevant. Kind of the same way.
That whole show's gonna.
Dick Vitale is irrelevant.
This conversation took a dark turn real quick.
You can't say a dark turn in a room full of minorities with the lights on. That's just mean.
Would you like me to turn the lights off and say it again then?
Yeah, it would actually probably be funnier. Actually, don't, because then you wouldn't be able to see. You know,
See, I'm just trying to behave, and you're.
I know. I just had to test the waters. I had to throw a shot.
So then when he
I had to
dives,
see if he was going to return
when
fire.
he dives head first, don't get mad.
I know. He's gonna. He's like me. He's
You're
gonna
egging
throw
him
a
on.
shot. He's gonna throw a shot.
Egging him
But I gotta make sure when he throws the shot that I at least threw something out there just to test my reach.
Look, I'm just
saying.
tired of talking about the Raiders. I mean, they really don't deserve any media airtime right now.
All right,
I'm just
We're
well,
really talking about Seattle because, like,
Well, do you
Russell
think it's
Wilson
a
is-
situation to where it's like Pete Carroll will want to prove himself if Russ leaves?
Bro, he'll probably take the Florida job.
he
I'll be
will
surprised.
he will get a job. He will have a job no matter what occurs with Seattle.
I would
whether
rather take
it's-
the Florida job.
I'd rather him
honestly.
stay in Seattle to see what the next era of Seattle football will be, because as he said, like, they need to understand that the era of the Legion of Boom is over. Like, you have to set a precedent for what's coming and what is. You're just playing catch up on what the new era of Seattle football is. So at this point, sure, I think Russ does have enough in his pocket to say, I can go play someplace else and maybe pursue something different, and a change of scenery will be nice. Or he buys into what Pete is planning on doing, which,
I don't
as
think
you guys
that's
The
mentioned,
Last Dance.
no, you got to remember, you guys are astute to point out that he's a great motivator. So this is a guy who's won a ring with him. This is a guy who's gone to the Super Bowl, and albeit they lost in a heartbreaking
because he
fashion,
threw
they
an
won.
interception.
Trust me, you think as a Patriot fan, I'm going to remember? I'm not
Because he
going
didn't
to
hand the
remember
ball off
Malcolm
to
Butler.
the best running back in the league at that time.
You remember that year that they were 1-5 on attempts
Get
to
off
get?
Zeke's dick, all right?
Look, they were 1-5 on attempts where they had Marshawn within the 5-yard line and getting it into the
5
end
yards
zone.
a carry.
No,
1-5 that season.
He was
Listen,
averaging like
the
5
play
yards a
call- the
carry
play
in fourth
call-
quarter.
the play call wasn't wrong. The read was incorrect.
Should have been
Because Marshawn was
RPO.
no. Go back and look at that exact play. Marshawn is wide open in the flat.
Yeah.
Wide open in the flat. So right call, wrong read.
That's
Well,
what
that's
I'm saying,
also
like,
a second-year quarterback, third-year quarterback.
The problem, Seattle's
but think
problem
about
is
the
that
guy
they're-
doing it. The guy doing it
Why did
also
Darren
like was
Bevel make that
practicing it
play?
the day before with Brandon
Yeah,
Browner
we
and
talked about
fucking
that,
up
yeah.
every drill. And
Exactly.
Browner was trying to drill it in his brain. And look what ended up happening. The one freaking time that it counted, he was
got
on it like
Mhm.
white on rice.
I'm
That's
just
why
saying.
practice makes perfect. Perfect.
I'm just
practice
saying-
makes
There we go.
Perfect.
There we
practice
go.
makes
Pete Carroll ends up as the Florida Gators head coach.
4 rings.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Listen.
That's the easiest job in the country.
Seattle's
right now.
Seattle's problem is also their what's is their strength, and is Russell Wilson, right?
And
His
Bobby
contract, if you look at with the exception of Tampa last year, if you look at, I want to say the past like 6 Super Bowl winners, it's been quarterbacks that have been on rookie deals. It was before
Yeah.
they got the
Yep.
major money, right?
Yep.
Once you give the quarterback that money,
Jared Goff.
your entire team suffers, right? Because now you're not able to go get those ancillary pieces to go on and help supplement the roster unless you are Thomas Brady in New England.
Did you forget
I
Peyton
would-
Manning in Denver?
He took less money. He didn't.
But that's what Tom did too.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying that's
There's a-
what Tom did.
yeah.
They
That's
both
his
took
entire
less money.
career.
Yeah.
Dude, he realized it quickly, and that's why you see a team like Tampa. They were able to. They gave him a good amount of money, a pretty
he
penny,
made
right?
it up on the back end. Dude,
In endorsements.
He did.
Yeah.
He did this.
TB12.
That's the advantage
Really nice
he
store in
has.
Boston, by the way.
Amazing store.
Just
Right
like
across from that
D-Wade
library?
got
Wonderful.
D-Wade made it back. Dirk made it back.
Look,
They have ways to get around it.
this is the smartest man who did it economically. He saw what LeBron was able to do in the NBA to a degree, even though LeBron's taken a max deal, right? He's convincing all these players to come around to the scene
less.
and take less.
Yep.
And that's working. Instead, Tom did it in football the way he could. Use his advantage as a leverage point. I'm willing to take less money, but I want this specific set of guys that I know we can get. And if I call them, we'll get them. Like, there's no questions asked. I make the phone call. This guy says, I want this amount. We agree at this amount. It's done.
Yeah, and that's why I would hate to see Seattle not have Pete Carroll. I would hate to Pete Carroll not to be in the league.
I'm telling you, it's
As
over,
a
bro.
Because
first-
good or bad, at least the Seahawks take fucking chances.
It's the end of
And
the
you
road.
need that in the league.
As a 49er fan, I look forward to Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll being gone. Because
I mean, you can't get past Arizona. So.
No, hold on. Because then
sorry
that's
ass
four.
receiver like Crabtree.
That's
Or the Rams.
four. That's 4 wins that I could pencil in every year because we're going to beat the Rams twice, and then we beat Seattle twice, and at
Can't
worst.
beat Arizona.
Hold on, bro. We'll
Watch out for
split
those
next year.
pretzels.
We'll split.
Can't beat Arizona. You're not beating Dallas. So
We're not beating Dallas.
not beating
Get outta
Dallas.
here.
Not beating Dallas.
We'll see in the playoffs.
I mean, who is going to lock up the number 3 receiver on the Cowboys?
Kyle Shanahan. He'll keep him on the sideline. He'll
How?
just run the ball.
How you gonna do that?
You guys can't stop the
You
run.
realize Zeke is their 3rd best receiver, right?
You
Here. You
cannot
want me to
stop
how
the
to get
run.
them to be friends like in a second? Watch. Guess whose team is 7-4 at the table?
I mean,
You're not even a Cowboys fan.
I'm just saying.
Don't
like,
don't you dare
there's
say
levels.
Cowboys. You're a Raiders fan.
I would never do that. I would never do that.
Swear on everything I love.
I would never root for the Cowboys. What I'm saying is the Niners blew their window.
No.
Yeah,
We're
they
a
did.
half game out. We're a
Okay.
half game out.
And
they
And we have Jacksonville this week.
Wait, we're
just
all
got it.
fans.
So that doesn't count.
We're all fans of Dallas this week, though,
Okay.
because we don't want to hear Michael talk about the Chiefs beating
Yes,
the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying realistically, long term, Kyler Murray gets healthy. You're not getting past them.
Just don't
That's
let them be
Everybody
healthy
comes
this
back
week.
for Arizona.
That's a
You got
big
Green
if, though.
Bay.
Because
Listen,
Kyler's been
there-
hurt already every year.
They want to give him a Colt
He's been-
McCoy at
listen,
quarterback.
there's still half the season to play.
That's what's
There's
crazy.
half the season to play.
And we're
And
playing
y'all
in
injury
fucking
prone.
January.
Yeah.
There's regular
We're
season
only
football
in
and
week
injury
what?
prone.
Not, we're approaching
gone
week
by
10
so
right
The
now.
Rams are eventually going to figure out this Odell
Are they?
offense.
Are they?
Are they?
Are
Yeah,
they?
just Stafford's
saw
going to do what
Von
Stafford
Miller's
does.
ass
So you're.
I was waiting to say this.
So hold on. You honestly believe in Stat Patford?
No.
Okay. So what gives you the inclination that the Rams are going to figure it out?
Their defense
Because he looks like
Bails
a fat
them out.
Von Miller.
Their defense just got ran roughshod.
doesn't
Has
matter.
been
Don't say it
previously,
doesn't
too.
matter
Here's the problem.
because
They haven't
that's
stopped-
2 weeks in a row
The
they've been ran on.
The Niners have been a problem for the Rams dating back to
The Rams haven't stopped the
What's his
run
face was
since
there?
All
the
year.
Super Bowl.
No, since
run.
when
since
They
their
have-
Super Bowl.
They
The other-
run.
haven't
the other
stopped the
brother.
run all year.
The
They
other
haven't.
brother.
They haven't stopped the run all year.
in 3 years.
the
They
Michigan
haven't
head
stopped the
coach,
run.
what's his name? He doesn't win anything.
Why aren't you answering the question? Because
I'm
they're
forgetting
making a point.
When are they going to
The
stop the
last-
run?
They just can't. We're-
Okay,
They-
so what
Why
gives
are
you?
you
So,
defending it,
so what
sir?
gives you the idea? What gives you to believe
Who's the
that they're going
Niners
to
starting
figure it out?
running back?
They could use
It
Jamal
doesn't
Adams.
matter. It's
Hey,
my
wait,
grandma.
wait, wait, wait,
It doesn't
wait,
matter.
wait.
Elijah
Wait,
Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell.
Stop. Wait.
The Niners.
The fact when he goes on the offensive and starts poking fun at your team is when you know the argument is lost. You
No,
are done,
it's
my
not
friend.
lost.
Just
It's
chill.
not
Your
lost.
tangent's
You have it.
over.
You have it. You
Eric
have
got
it.
the
You have
touchdown.
it.
Your
The
tangent's
Rams.
done.
When was the last time the Rams cared about
This is
stopping the run?
touchdowns and
Well, it
tangents,
would
ladies and gentlemen.
behoove. It would behoove.
Every
it
Thursday
would-
night on,
it would behoove
on
them.
Good News Radio.
It's a passing league. Like the Rams don't give a shit about stopping the run.
Who did the
Or
Rams
else
play
they'd
last?
have respect
Who
for
did the
middle
Rams?
linebackers,
Who did the
but
Rams
they
play?
don't.
Who did the Rams play before they played the 49ers?
They played the Lions, right?
And they got clapped the week before that too.
They by the Cardinals. All I'm saying is, when it comes to running the
If you
ball,
can't win in your
you
division.
don't pay all these pass rushers to stop the run.
But guess what?
Do you?
Pass rushers become a moot point if you're running the ball.
Yeah,
you
but
only rushed the pass on one down, sir.
I tried
Guess
to
what?
protect you
One
and tell
down.
you that your
I'm
tangent was
saying
done.
one
His
down.
touchdown
You're
went in.
pro-
I'm
You're
not,
proving my point.
I'm not disagreeing with him, but I am saying
You're
you can talk all
arguing
that
with
shit
him.
about running all you want, but you got to throw to somebody who's probably being covered by Jalen
Okay,
Ramsey.
okay,
Good luck,
so-
His point is they're not going to be on the field.
Exactly.
bro.
They're not
I
going to
think
be.
the Niners.
Look,
The Niners are not.
the Niners had two. We had two
Okay.
drives of 90 plus yards.
That's great.
That took up 10 minutes each.
But how many times can you do it three
What-
times in
hold
one
on,
season?
Hold on. What's 2 plus 10? I mean, excuse me, 2 times 10.
20.
Okay, that's almost a whole half in 2 drives.
That's great. But can you do that three times in one
What-
season?
Easy.
Dude,
That's
they've
our
been
identity.
Who
proving
does
it.
that 3 times?
Bro,
That's
a
our
season?
identity. We
They've
did
been
it all the way to
proving.
the Super Bowl. What are you talking
Did
about?
you win the Super Bowl?
No, we did. You know why? Because we stopped
you couldn't
running the
pass,
ball.
right? 'Cause you
No,
couldn't pass?
because we
'Cause you couldn't
stopped
pass?
running the ball.
Because you couldn't run on
Hey,
3rd
Eric,
and 10.
Eric, when was the last time that
I
the
agree.
Raiders were in the Super Bowl?
Man, I was in the Army, bro.
My sister.
I hope your heart hurts right now because your tangent is over.
Nah, it's not a tangent. I'm just saying, like, it's great.
Bro,
that-
you've been arguing this
The
entire point like
No,
it's
I
the
just don't
life and
believe the
death
Niners.
sentence.
When I hate the Niners as a Raiders fan, obviously. But I don't
Good.
believe the Niners are
We
going.
ran y'all out the bay.
This
I would hate.
started
I would
off-
hate
You're
you.
playing the bay anymore.
Guess what? You don't even play in the state. You don't play in the state.
Guys,
So now what?
we got
This
offer a
started,
better deal.
whoa,
Oh,
this
as
all
we did.
started
As
because
we did.
you said
I go to
that you
Vegas, we
believed
did.
in the
I go to Vegas
Rams.
for $1 billion.
And guess what?
Hey, we
And
still
you're
play on grass.
And you're still
Hey,
losing. And you're
hey,
still losing.
We still play on grass though, all right?
Hey, this all
We
started.
still play on
Wait,
grass.
wait.
Our
This
tires
all
are
started.
nicer.
Wait,
No, we
wait,
don't
wait.
got nicer than our stadium.
Guys, this all started when he said he believed in the Rams figuring it out. Let's remember that that's where this all started for a
He
second.
has no point.
Okay,
He's
the
you're
Rams-
grasping that straw.
The Rams
You're
are gonna
grasping
do
that
this.
straw.
No, no,
So far
No,
off.
here's what the Rams are going to do. They're going to do just enough to get the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, try to have to bypass playing the Niners, somehow end up in the NFC title game, and then choke.
The Rams are not getting the number 1 seed. Nobody in the NFC West is getting the number 1 seed.
They're going to find a way.
Listen,
Damn,
Oh,
Green
don't
Bay,
do this
Green
again.
Bay,
Don't do
Green
this
They
Bay,
have a
again.
soft ass schedule.
Green
Don't-
Bay
don't
or
do this
Dallas.
again.
Green Bay or Dallas is going to get the number 1 seed.
Unless Aaron Rodgers gets COVID again.
I don't think
See?
that's going to be
See?
a reality. I think maybe COVID contact
Shit's been
policy.
happening and we didn't inspect it. Antonio Brown. here
Aaron
with a fake
Jones going
vaccination
down.
card.
God
I'll just-
damn it!
I'll just say this about the Rams, man.
All it takes
like-
is a couple more COVID outbreaks.
The Odell move was desperate. The
Oh,
Vaughn
God.
move was good, but I don't know. Maybe it's not so good after he got his ass kicked.
Why do you say it was
Yeah.
desperation?
I mean, that's the best tight end in the league, blocking. So.
Why do you
Because
think
all
Odell?
year we've been talking about the receiver core, how good it was. Cooper Kupp,
Robert
Van
Woods.
Jefferson,
Torn
Robert
ACL.
Woods, and
That hurt.
and
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden, now we're hearing, oh well, the template was always Odell, the goal was always Odell. Man, last time I heard that
That's him.
was at the John Gruden press conference. Like you can't chase a shadow. Like
But I don't think
Odell is trying to
he
be
was in a bad
Odell of
spot in Cleveland.
I don't,
3
I don't
years
think
ago.
he's a shadow. I don't think he's a shadow. I don't think Cleveland was ever a good fit for him.
Yeah,
I
it
think
wasn't.
you know, if Odell was able to see free agency earlier, he would have come to the NFC West. He would have probably picked Seattle. He would have picked San Francisco. I think
Working on fixing the technical difficulties.
All right,
Wham,
I said
bam,
it's
thank you,
back up.
ma'am.
It's
We're
back
back
up.
on StreamYard.
So I just want to point out some.
I gotta tune out the
Like,
episode.
Realistically, the Rams could end up like the Clippers if they don't win a ring, bro. This is gonna be the most.
Jesus.
This is gonna be highly embarrassing, bro.
They went
Like
from
if they
stat
don't
pack-
get to a Super Bowl, if they don't get to a Super Bowl at all, in the next 2 years for the Rams,
I love it.
they're gonna fire McVay.
Hey,
And I love
And
it.
Pete Carroll might be able to save it if he comes back out
No,
of retirement.
I was just shocked
Wow.
that Matt Stafford and his wife have been in LA for what, 5 months now?
She
And
already
she's still
started-
eating pretzels? She's still eating gluten?
Damn.
She was in Detroit.
Throw avocado chip.
Yeah.
Hey,
Detroit for a
Kale
lot of
chip.
So look, I'm glad.
Get a
I'm
good
glad,
pretzel in Detroit.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, they've hedged their bet to go all in now, right?
Fucked for the next 7 years because they have no draft
No,
picks.
they have no draft picks and they have no salary cap. So now, if Russ leaves, right, and the Rams are in purgatory,
Better trade Stafford again.
it'll just be a boom for the 49ers, man. It'll be a 2-team division between the Cardinals and the 49ers.
And the Lions are just out here.
So is Stafford Russ?
Hell.
I'm just
Jesus.
Did you just say Stafford is Russ?
Is he?
Nice, Charles Barkley.
Stafford is
Stafford is Derek Carr, man. He's Derek.
Derek Carr's
Look
No,
at
that's
the-
that's
Nah,
an
he's
insult.
better
Derek Carr's better
Okay.
than Stafford.
Look
He's
at the
better than Derek Carr.
look at the stats.
Is he better than
He's
Derek
better than
Carr?
Derek
Look at the look
I mean,
Yeah,
at
a
Derek
the
little
Carr and
bit.
Megatron, would you say
Just
that?
a little bit.
Look
Just a
at
little
the
bit.
stats.
He's better than
Look
Derek
at the stats. Look at the
Okay,
stats.
I'll give you that because he came up in a different era.
Carr. No, they're
Now you're trying to
No,
make
they
pretty
came
close.
up in the same
They're
era.
the
like
same
they're
time
like
period.
they're like
Yeah, 2 years apart.
Did you just say Derek Carr and Matthew Stafford are 2 years apart?
Yeah,
Somebody Google.
I think
So I'm
Stafford's
pretty sure when
2012,
Georgia
right?
beat the dog shit out of Hawaii.
Oh wait, was Sam
in the
Bradford
Sugar Bowl,
22?
that was what Derek Carr wasn't even in fucking college at Fresno State when Matthew Stafford was at Georgia. GFEs for everybody.
Are you happy now? You got your 1 point up.
Google it. I knew that.
2014 season, Carr was selected.
And Matthew Stafford came out what 2008?
9. You got it. 6
5
years.
years.
6 years, right?
5 years.
5
I'm
years.
saying, I'm saying
Kind of
that.
same era.
Yeah, it's still same era.
That's totally different. Nah, hell no. Fresno State didn't have the same head coach.
I
around
think
that time.
Carr's
That was
only.
kinda the
I think
same
Pat
Carr's
Hill
only
was still
thrown.
there.
Carr's
Kinda
only
same
thrown
era.
for over
Ruder-
4K like
Nah,
twice.
bro. Georgia
or 3
was fucking
times.
loaded. They had AJ Green,
And Stafford's almost
Knowshon
done
Moreno.
5,000 that many times.
But he also had Megatron.
Thank you.
I mean, he also
This
had
was
a
like
Detroit
before the spread offense thing.
offensive
boomed.
line.
But he also had Megatron.
But Detroit also didn't have a necessarily terrible defense, and they had a pretty decent offensive line. They're just Detroit. Like
I don't know, man. I think
some of those
both
old
them-
Detroit teams beat the Raiders. by
Both
the
of
way.
them have been in the league long enough to know that they might not be the problem,
They're not.
but
the
they're
solution.
also not the solution.
Stafford is like if you put him
You're
on.
expecting the same thing. Like it's the same thing with
They're
Jimmy.
both game managers.
Okay.
Do not put Jimmy Garoppolo because
No,
that
but that's
dude
what
is
I'm
a bridge
saying.
quarterback.
But what exactly? And that's what
I'm
I'm
about to
saying
say,
is
yeah.
like that's why I respect the 49ers because they're not expecting the same results, different results from the same person.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Versus that's exactly what Raiders fans put them through
with that,
every single damn year.
So where's Cam Newton in this situation? Is Cam Newton really their best hope?
For the
And
Panthers,
Panthers to make a playoff run?
No.
They have a top
No.
10 defense.
Listen, man. Can't look.
Will they do enough to gimmick
as
their way
much
into the
as-
into the
look.
playoffs?
This is a hot take. I think Cam Newton is super overrated.
Wait, lifetime or just these past 4 years?
I'm gonna say I'll go so far to say lifetime. I see. Listen,
you're gonna say
This man
the-
gonna
the-
fight you.
Listen to me. Listen to
Wow.
You started
me. Cam
a fight
Newton.
with both the
Cam
hosts.
Newton has only passed for 60%.
one
Maybe
time,
no. I want to say it was
Twice?
twice.
and it wasn't even the year he won MVP.
Exactly. Cam Newton has his claim to fame has been his athleticism. It's him making plays with his legs, him scoring and running people over.
Having no
Not
receivers.
not him throwing the ball.
Yeah, Ted Ginn Jr. is his
Listen,
best receiver.
But he doesn't even
Hold on,
run
hold on.
like
Ted
that.
Ginn Jr. was his best receiver.
Listen. You tell me Cam's best year passing the ball.
Honestly,
Might have
I
been
don't
his
feel
rookie
like
year.
we've ever had that.
Okay.
His rookie
I
year.
don't even know what that looks like.
Cam
his
Newton.
rookie year.
Both of y'all have played the game. Cam Newton excels throwing where? In between the numbers, primarily in between the hashes, right?
And occasionally deep downfield.
Cam struggles when he has to throw to the boundary. He's extremely inaccurate. The same thing that I see in Cam, the same thing I see in Lamar. Lamar is a more dynamic runner. You know, they scheme a lot of. All right.
Lamar's nice, bro.
Lamar is nice. Lamar
Lamar's
does
nice
not.
with the pot.
Lamar cannot throw outside the numbers. He doesn't throw outside the
He can
numbers.
throw from the pocket though.
Cam's running is more gimmicky.
Russ couldn't throw outside the numbers for a while.
Russ was accurate.
He was a deep ball thrower.
Neither one of those two are accurate throwers. They're not great passers of the ball. They're great athletes playing quarterback.
I mean,
And also the
Marquise
other
Brown has
thing-
like 800 yards receiving.
The other thing I'll say is
That's neither here nor that's scheme, bro.
they haven't
That's
given
not scheme.
him
He's-
a good big receiver. They haven't
Bateman's
given
been
him
hurt.
a Des Bryant. They haven't given him a Calvin Johnson. They gave him a Calvin Benjamin, and he gained a bunch of weight, and we got 1,000-yard receiver.
Queen Latifah.
But they had Greg Olson. He
And
had
he was
Steve
fire.
Smith.
He was fire.
He had
See,
Steve-
Steve
But
for
they
a
haven't
couple
given him
years,
a big
it wasn't a
receiver to
lot.
make up for those accuracy and give him a bigger catch window.
DJ Moore got there as
You
a
got
rookie.
a bunch of
You had
They just get the fast guys.
Steve Smith is going to go get the ball. If
Yeah.
it's in his vicinity, you don't need
and
to
he's
be
going to take it
accurate.
to the cost.
But
Yeah,
that, but
that's
that
Steve
was
Smith. He's a
that was
goat.
an ego.
For sure.
So what are we saying here?
What I'm saying
he
is
got forced out of Carolina.
what I'm
No,
saying
That's
is
not
though,
really fair. Steve
you're
Smith got
pointing out
forced
you're pointing out the tragic flaw in his game, which is fine, but also it takes coaching and a development to see that and say, hey, okay, I need to get this dude a big receiver on the outside instead of just building to his strength and just get him a bunch
Why-
of passes.
why- why
Who are going to get to the half?
Okay,
who are going to
okay,
get
okay.
inside the half?
So I'm gonna take that. Okay, I'm the GM. Why get a big fast receiver on the outside and he's accurate
tried
outside?
it.
And he's inaccurate outside.
They tried it. It worked with Calvin Benjamin that one year. They tried it again with Devin Funches. Didn't work.
Funches and bunches. He's really a tight end, but you know.
So, I mean, it's not like those receivers grow on trees. Like you saw what D Hopkins went for, nothing. They should have got D Hopkins.
And let's
That
be-
would have helped.
Let's be honest. When you look at Carolina, they were running the ball and playing great defense. They weren't even an aired out
Oh,
team.
wait.
So for
Say
years,
that
he
again.
didn't-
So wait, say that again.
They
didn't.
The year they got to the Super Bowl, they did what?
Which
He actually threw a lot.
Which time?
When he won the MVP and he played when they
35
got
touchdown passes
when they got smacked in the Super Bowl.
because all the receivers
Oh,
were hurt.
because they ran the ball and played great defense.
They tried.
They ran the ball.
They tried. But I mean, Jonathan Stewart,
So you're
injury prone,
so you're telling me there's multiple ways to win football games?
and they always leaned on Cam.
Let me take you back 2 years ago.
Okay.
All right. 2.5 years ago.
All right, I'm in my
But-
time machine.
Before the Super Bowl season,
Uh-huh.
were you expecting a Super Bowl run?
For the 49ers?
3 years
Yes.
ago.
3 years ago.
Fairly.
Whatever.
3.
I'm gonna say I'll be honest, no. And the reason being is because when Trent Baalke and John Harbaugh, when Trent Baalke left, and then we have to endure Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly, our
wow.
roster was so devoid of talent. It was bereft of talent. There were people who were playing in the like XFL and AFL, like that were on the 49ers roster, like literally years prior. So we had to replenish the cupboards. So I do think the first year, I think we, drafted Fred Warner. Who else did we draft that?
Raiders passed on him too.
Pass on him.
Who else did we draft in that draft? Oh, George Kittle. Like, so we've been able to find
Raiders
gems.
passed on George Kittle.
We've been like every team
Debo.
passed on George Kittle.
but I mean,
we've been
he
able
was
to find
underdeveloped.
like late round draft gems, right? That expedited our rebuild process. When like I didn't see Raheem Mostert, like
Nobody saw
nobody saw that one coming. If
Yeah.
anybody, like any 49er fan that was like, oh yeah, I knew he was going to be good, like they're like,
Yeah.
I'm a super objective 49er fan. I saw glimpses. So I'm gonna tell you the thing that made me like give me some modicum of hope. It was when we traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, and although those 5 games didn't mean anything, I was like, yo, there's something special about this dude, right? He's not necessarily, a gunslinger, but he has the it, whatever that is, and you know it when you see it. He got his teammates to believe in him and like really believe like, hey, we can win this game.
But so going into that year, you would have said what, 9-7, 8-8,
Not 10-6.
10-6. All right. So you were put more on the optimistic side.
Yeah, I believe in Kyle Shanahan.
So now this year, do you feel like
Oh, we've underperformed.
okay?
underperform like grossly. And
But do you feel like that's helpful for you, or like to
no,
have that be able to catch teams off guard?
No.
Slide to like a 6
no. I think the true hallmark of a championship franchise is going into the season with the expectations that we're going to have a target on our back and we're supposed to win these games, and going out and doing exactly that. Like, shout out to Bill Belichick.
What was the last team that you feel like did that though?
New England.
I guess, yeah, but they struggled too. They
struggled last year, but year in and year out, you always believe, especially, with Brady and Belichick, you always believe like, yo, these cats got a chance. You know what I'm saying?
They have a chance, but the way you painted it, like I'm thinking of like, a juggernaut team. We're gonna go in, we're gonna do what we're supposed to. We're gonna do like what the Chiefs should be, but they haven't been the past 3 years.
The Chiefs aren't really a juggernaut team. They're what makes them so
on one side.
What makes them so dynamic is speed, the speed on the outside with Tyreek, the athleticism and physicality with Kelsey across the middle, and Patrick Mahomes' arm. Outside of that, what is there? Like, what do the Chiefs do well?
They rush the passer.
Create
Frank
turnovers.
Clark, Chris Jones. Okay, I give you that.
Yeah, and sometimes they create turnovers.
Yeah,
and
they're timely.
yeah, they get timely turnovers. Yeah.
Yeah, but there hasn't really been a juggernaut. There really hasn't been a juggernaut team, like with the exception of like New England. I guess you can go to the Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah, that would have been my next one.
Yeah, the Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah, that's probably the closest. Yeah.
And then prior to that, then you have to go back to the 80s and Bill Walsh.
Yep.
Well, those Houston offenses were Warren Moon.
Yeah, but they didn't win a lot.
Yeah,
they didn't win. They didn't win. I'm talking about winners. We want winners.
I don't even know what it's like to win anymore, man.
I mean, it's like, especially as a Clippers fan. Whew, I'm sorry for you. But like, if the Rams don't win, like the Chargers are just like in the best seat out of.
I don't know about that.
The Chargers will be okay. Like, this is the first year Brandon Staley's like head coaching tenure. Like, let him draft who he needs on the defensive side of the ball so they can, become what he envisions. Like,
well, really, I mean, to your point, they really only have 2 years. Because then Herbert gets a new contract. Keenan Allen's already at the
no,
plateau.
they got 3. They got 3.
2, maybe 3.
This is his
'Cause
second
they'll-
year.
they'll-
Depending, I mean,
They'll
Herbert
pick up-
could hold out.
They'll pick up his 5th year.
He could hold out. Why wouldn't he? I would.
Okay, so
If I
look,
was in his
when I
spot.
look at the Chargers secondary, right? They got Derwin, they got Vato, they got
Those
Asante,
dudes have injury issues, but Asante's nice. I fuck with Asante heavy.
and then on the line you have
Bosa's
Kyler.
always
Shinnon
hurt.
Owosu.
Bosa's
Yeah,
always hurt.
no, I was thinking about that linebacker core.
Kenneth Murray.
Kyler. No, is it
Kazir
Kyler?
White?
Kazir White.
yeah.
Kazir White.
Kazir. They have
Drew Tranquil.
what's the white boy name that plays the edge? Frackle.
Called Kyle Fackrell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like him
yeah,
too.
And then you got Bosa.
I think
Uchenna.
they need like D tackles. They need D tackles to like really
Tillery.
help the line, like, take a step forward. Like,
I mean, they
give them this
drafted-
draft, give them this draft, give them this draft. They'll draft like a D tackle between like the first 3 rounds. A space eater.
Yeah, that's what they really
they'll
need.
be all right.
They need a nose.
They got
Yeah.
Tillery, who does pretty good.
Jerry
yeah.
Tillery, yeah,
But he hasn't got the pass rush yet.
yeah. He's a
He's
run
more
stopper.
of just a run stopper.
And allegedly a dirty player. But I mean,
He's a mean
I
guy.
mean, did he go to Notre Dame?
did you just look at his whole Notre Dame career? And he did something when he got in the league too. But I mean, hey, but like they have a loaded D line, linebackers. You got Tranquil, Kenneth Murray, Kazir White. You got what's the safety's name that they drafted?
Adderley?
Yeah, Mr. Adderley.
Yeah,
So like they have pieces in place, but I'm really focusing on that offense. I mean, you get Slater, who's looking like all pro. You got Herbert,
Slater is gonna
That's
when
your
Trent
foundation.
Williams retires, he'll be the best left tackle in the league.
pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Yep.
Like
100%.
that's what you have set up right there. Mike Williams, if he ever just stays healthy, I think you have to have him out there. But
He'll
like
probably bounce.
if you can
after
get a
this year.
running back, if you can get a stud running back,
No, I would get a
Cleveland or someone will give him
I would get a
one.
bookend tackle. I would either get a right guard or
Look
book
at Bulaga though. He's a journeyman.
He's
right
hurt
tackle.
though.
Yeah, he's
He's
always
hurt.
hurt. He's
Always
made out of
hurt.
paper mache.
At this point, Iowa tackles do not hold up well after like 5 years.
I would either get a right tackle, a right guard, or maybe a tight end.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers end up with the D tackle out of Georgia,
Oh yeah, he's nice.
350.
Yeah, he's nice.
The wall of a human. But I mean, big guys like that don't usually last like 7 years.
But in order for their defense to really
Vita
take a
is.
step forward, you need a D tackle that could also rush. You don't need. They have like Tillery is their two gapper.
technique.
He's their two gapper. So
Yeah.
you already have that. You don't need to draft that again.
Yeah, because the way I look at the Chargers, they got the best setup as far as quarterback. 'Cause that's
Quarterback,
what's gonna-
left tackle.
Quarterback, left tackle, better than the Niners, better than the Raiders, better than the
Yeah,
Rams. Because Whitworth is about to retire any day now. Stafford's no spring chicken. If the Rams don't get the Super Bowl out the way, they're going to be a forgotten about piece of history. And it's
I'm
going to
gonna
be
love it.
embarrassing.
I'm gonna love it.
All right.
Shout out to St. Louis.
Some college football news.
Oh,
You got something you want?
now go ahead. Do your college football. My
I
bad.
bet.
forgot.
So Malik Cunningham, some might say Lamar Jackson 2.0 because Lamar had his jersey retired recently this past week. They beat Duke tonight 62-22. He
Good
had
boy.
7 total touchdowns. He had 300 passing yards, 200 plus rushing yards. Louisville kind of has they're like, oh, we're just going to get Lamar Jackson-esque guys and develop them. I like seeing that for Louisville's program, man. Their head coach, I think, was originally at Appalachian State. So there's that. But some great news. By the way, USC UCLA plays this week.
Go Bruins.
Hell no. Fight on.
Go Bruins.
Both teams
Hey,
are both teams are trash, but go fight on.
Hey, we
How
both
much are
eligible.
tickets for that?
We both eligible.
$20?
Not that much. It shouldn't be that much. I think
Parking
it's
probably more than the tickets.
Hey,
I
I,
wanna say it's a
I
Pasadena.
went to the school. I'm not just cheering. I went there. So you know what I'm saying? I
I'm
got ink.
definitely
I
just
got dry ink.
I
Hey,
feel it. I
hey,
feel it. I respect it.
yeah.
But it's okay.
Fight
I just applied for my master's at SC, so it's fight on too.
There you go. There you go. Speaking of USC and disappointment, Steve Sarkisian, the Texas Longhorns head coach, lost at home to Kansas, 57-56, bro. It was so glorious. I was about to sing "Oh Happy Day." Shout out to Lawndale High School alum Jalen Daniels, former state champion. He helped lead. He's like the face of the Kansas football program right now. They have some talent. Lance Leopold has turned. They've had them really competitive. They scored like 40+ points against Oklahoma and Texas, and they finally got a win. They got their second win. Against the Texas defense that's been trash all year. Their assistant coach, I guess Gabe Lewis, I think that's his name. He had somebody recorded him cussing everybody out on the bus after they lost last week for Texas. They've lost 5 straight games. And Malik Murphy, he's one of the best QBs in this class coming up. Sarah QB, 5-star. He was committed to Texas. I don't see how you could be a QB at Sarah High School, 5-star. I get it, USC don't recruit black quarterbacks like that. But how do you let that kid slip away? Rocket for an arm, can do everything you want, and dual threat. This isn't Jesse Scroggins we're talking about, where Jesse Scroggins was a knucklehead with a big arm, athleticism, and didn't do shit with it. Huge disappointment out of Lakewood, but I just factor in Kansas is even making strides in putting the whole Les Miles fiasco behind them. Sarkisian got this fat ass contract for pretty much just playing with a 99 overall offense at Alabama. You're the head coach at Texas, and you're god awful. You're worse than you were at Washington. At least when they were at Washington, he got them ranked. Keith Price was wheeling and dealing. You had Myles Gaskin. They were beating the shit out of USC every other year. They were highly competitive. Texas is an embarrassment, bro. And they're going to the SEC about to get their shit clapped again. They already lost to an SEC team this year. They lose to Kansas. Kansas has never beaten Texas at home, ever in existence. Like, and they beat them 57-56. And this shit was wonderful to see. And I'm so happy for Jalen Daniels and Kansas, the Wildcats, the Jayhawks.
Jayhawks.
Their football team's been so bad. I forget what their mascot is. I don't even associate them with Jayhawks. And Kansas ain't been that good either in basketball for a while.
Hey, I got some.
They got rid of Bill Self.
Sideline swap.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where all the D1 athletes put all the shit they don't use online.
Hilarious. Also, Florida's not looking great. Pretty sure they beat Sanford, but I think Sanford dropped like 40 points on them. It was like 70 to like 42 or some shit. It was a nasty score. And they were celebrating in the locker room afterwards. Like, it's pretty much over for old boy at Florida. It's going to be over very shortly. And again, Pete Carroll, that would be the best place to go to rehabilitate that program's image. It'll be Florida. They're going to get all the D1, all the 5 stars. And all he has to do is make sure nobody gets arrested and then crazy. And he just says, we're going to fight on. Like, we're going to, like he would clean up the SEC because he's the only person who could stand toe-to-toe to Nick Saban at the college level. He could say, I have more success as you as an NFL coach, and then I can come down to college and wax you. Dabo Swinney, I mean, like at Clemson, they're going to be down for a while. Like, you can look and tell at all the D1 talent, all the NFL talent they had, and see how now that it's all gone, like how bad Clemson really looks.
I told you that like a month ago.
Shit, like Louisville almost beat Clemson a couple weeks ago when they played. So, yeah, that's there's just a lot of shit with college football. And San Diego State has a problem with Barstool sponsoring the LA Bowl. They're considering pulling out their advertisement.
That Jimmy Kimmel Bowl?
Yeah. I think they're standing the board might take like $40,000 away in advertisements. Like San Diego State doesn't want to be affiliated with David Portnier. I think that's how you say his name, from Barstool, because all the rape allegations and all that. They're not really feeling it. So
good for them.
But I mean, if you're San Diego State, you really can't afford to lose this limelight in a bowl game this serious. You've already beaten a bunch of Pac-12 schools. You might as well finish the season with the best record possible. Brady Hoke ain't going nowhere. I mean, he went to Michigan. That didn't work out.
I mean, the game we're going to next week is pretty much a winner takes all the 3 stars in LA.
Yeah, Boise State and San Diego State. San Diego State lost, but they're still ranked. Boise State could just steal. I mean, Utah State has their division in the Mountain West pretty much locked up. But if I'm San Diego State, this is bigger than Boise State. This is bigger than, whatever Wesley Snipes said. And why am I forgetting the name of that movie? It's like one of the most iconic movies of all time because Christopher Williams is in a coma right now. Damn it. What is the name of that movie? Fucking Wesley Snipes and My Brother's Keeper.
New Jack City.
There we go. Yeah. It's bigger than all that shit. Like San Diego State, they could actually get 4 and 5 star recruits. Like San Diego is
5
like,
star, no. They can get 2 or 3.
They could steal 1. All you need is 1. Even if it's in the transfer portal. Like, think about it. The location is perfect.
Yeah, but
everything is perfect. Like, they send cats to the league more often than
if you're
USC
a 5-star
does.
recruit, you're getting bags first and foremost. San Diego State
be a big fish in a small pond.
San Diego State they don't have the boosters to give you
Marshall Faulk,
the motivation. Okay, that's Marshall Faulk. That's 1.
Somebody has to be big on the
Kawhi Leonard. Okay, 2. When you're talking about competing with like a Florida, Ohio State, Maryland, I'll even throw Maryland into that mix.
They weren't competing.
Plus the whole state school element is like
Maryland got Stephon
Those
Diggs.
private schools, they can do a lot more with the money. They can do a lot more with your academics than the state schools.
Like Arizona State is?
No, California. The California state system and UC system is the most difficult university system to get into, like, period. Alabama, they don't have those qualms.
But for
Florida doesn't have
athletics,
it. You still got to qualify.
Yeah.
It's a state school. You still have to qualify.
There's plenty of D1 cats who can qualify. Now I'm
Five
talking
stars. 5 stars.
Yeah.
Why
I
do
don't
you,
five
why do you
stars
smart-
have bad grades.
The smart ones are going to Stanford. They're going to Michigan. They're going to Berkeley. They're going to UCLA. If they're actually intelligent
USC.
and they're going to Stanford. They're going to Berkeley.
You sure they don't pull 5 stars like
You're
that?
going to USC.
I'm also not playing sports.
USC like just stocks up on 5 stars who never amount to shit in college.
Listen,
There's a reason why Montez went to ASU and not anywhere else when all he needed was a 700. to go to
Exactly.
USC. Like
I agree.
the intelligent athletes are going to one of the schools that I aforementioned because it not only sets you up for success on the field, more than likely you're not going to have a long NFL career. And that Stanford cachet, it opens up a ton of doors.
yes.
That Berkeley cachet, that UCLA cachet, it opens up a ton of doors. Why the hell, if I have that as an option, or if I'm actually good and I have Alabama and Notre Dame and Ohio State as an option, why the hell would I go to San Diego State?
I mean, some people want to be a big fish in a small pond. Boise State gets 4-star recruits, and they're in fucking Idaho.
4 stars are not 5 stars.
There's plenty of 4 stars
And
who
there's
turn out
Boise,
better. Most
and
5
there's
stars
Idaho.
actually don't pan out like that.
I know this. I would rather be a 2-3 star. That way, you know what I'm saying? I actually have motivation to work out and be coached.
Plenty of Baker Mayfield was a
George
2-star.
Kittle, Anthony Davis were 2 and 3 star recruits coming out of high school.
And by the way, Kittle, everybody knew he was going to be like a 3rd or 4th rounder because he was underdeveloped as a receiver, but he was pretty good.
He was a dynamic blocker.
Exactly.
If you play
And then he
tight
ran
end,
4-5. I was like, check all boxes.
if you play tight end right now, there's no other school that I'm going to other than Iowa.
Maybe Penn State.
There's
Gesicki, Freiermuth,
you got TJ, you got
Florida.
Noah, you got Noah, and you have George Kittle.
Yeah, but how are they all doing?
What do you mean? How are they doing? George
Denver's
Kittle.
trash.
Huh, you said who's trash?
Denver is trash.
Noah
Denver's
Fant
awful.
is not trash.
No, he's not, but he's wasting away his best years in Denver. Same way OJ Howard is wasting away in Tampa Bay.
OJ Howard,
He went to Alabama.
he wasn't a complete tight end.
No, he was not.
Kyle Pitts is not a complete tight end.
Kyle Pitts is still nice though.
What's he doing right now?
He winnings the Patriots.
What did
the Patriots take away everybody's best weapon.
What
That's not fair.
what
That's
is he?
not fair.
What has he done this season?
He's
What
been
is
eating pretty good. He's on my fantasy
many-
team. He's been doing pretty good.
how many yards does he have?
I want to say like 400, 500
Okay, that's eating.
for a tight end as a
Okay.
rookie.
Oh, okay.
On a
I
team
mean,
that's
we have different standards.
That's
for
better
what-
than Evan Ingram or Irv Smith or any of the
Thank
other tight ends in the past
you.
few years.
Hey, if 400 yards, if that's what you expect and demand out of your first round lottery pick,
I mean,
Top 10, yeah. He was top 10.
hey man,
The offense is hurt. They got Cordell Patterson playing running back and
listen to
receiver,
me.
bro.
Listen to me.
It's not that easy.
Hey, listen to me. If that's what you want as a GM, by all means.
The Falcons don't have any real offensive talent outside of him, though.
Hey,
Ridley's gone. Julio's
Cordell
gone.
Patterson is doing. He's
didn't play.
He's
He's
hella-
hurt.
I know he's on my fantasy team. I know.
All right, can we move to touchdown and turnover?
Yeah.
All right. All right, this one's easy. Touchdown's good, turnover's bad. All right, first up, the New York football Jets are making a move at quarterback. They are ending the white era and turning back the clock to Joe Flacco. So,
I was about to say, that was a
touchdown or turnover
Turnover.
for the Jets, starting Joe Flacco versus the Bears.
Turnover. Joe Flacco had one good year, rode it all the way to a Super Bowl victory over my Niners, and has been poo cheese
Wonderful.
ever since.
Kenny?
Turnover.
I mean, salute to Buy Money in the chat. I just want to say this. It's a touchdown.
Bang bang Niner gang.
Why?
Here's why. The Jets ain't winning shit. They're barely better than the Lions. The Lions, I think, are still going to win 2 games this year. I don't know how.
Which
Dumbass luck. I don't know. Dumbass luck. I don't know how. It's just going to be dumbass luck. But Zach Wilson, they got their franchise left tackle. They got Elijah Vera Tucker. So the left side of that line is looking okay. They have so many holes on this team. Elijah Moore is going to be a stud receiver for them.
Facts.
Got him on my fantasy team in one of my leagues too.
But Kenny, what does that have to do with Joe Flacco?
Because Joe Flacco is hot garbage and he's going to lose them games. So they'll have a higher draft pick to help build and protect for the future. The Jets ain't winning shit. It has to be a touchdown.
I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like they're being desperate to get a win because they're 2-7.
No, you have to
Everyone's been dragging.
You have to look like you're trying if you're the Jets.
No,
with Robert Saleh.
Because
Rex Ryan was talking shit about him.
The New York media is already calling for his job.
Yep.
Yeah, Rex Ryan said, don't ever compare me to him. I was a defensive mastermind. And then Robert Saleh pretty was like, pull up if you want to smoke. I mean, if you want to say it over here, you can come say it.
Yeah, but where have they improved? Where has the improvement
They've gotten
been?
worse.
No,
The stench of Adam Gase.
Thus, the reason why the New York media is calling for Robert Saleh's job. This move reeks of desperation. If Joe Flacco is your number 3 receiver and you're going to him, your season is already over. You're punting on the season.
Like Jeff Driscoll.
And they made that
transferring
whole
the tight
comment
end.
about like, oh, we don't need a veteran quarterback at the beginning of the year. And now you're turning to Joe Flacco.
Mike White talked way too much.
I mean,
shit
I
for going
want to
to
say there is
Western Kentucky.
I think there's a quarterback that's
I was just going to
in
bring that
New
up.
York that's been training, that's available right now.
Colin Kaepernick?
There you go.
I mean, would you want to play for the Jets?
If I'm Colin
If I
Kaepernick
cannot
and I
get my
can get back,
ass beat,
if I can get back into the league, yeah. I
I'd
played
rather-
for the 49ers
Hey man,
with Chip Kelly
Hey,
and
man.
I had even less
They had 8
at my
win-
disposal.
They had 8-win talent. When they played good, they had 8-win talent.
Who had A1 talent?
They had like 7 or 8 wins.
We had freaking Quentin Patton starting that freaking wide
Was Kyle
receiver.
Williams still there?
No. We had
he
Quentin
would've been-
Patton,
They
who
hate
the
him.
next year
Louisiana
was
Tech
playing,
product.
who was playing in a freaking
Super Bowl with the
no,
Patriots?
no, he wasn't playing with the Super Bowl with the Patriots. He was
Fuck.
playing with freaking like the XFL or one of those upstart football leagues. He never made it back to the NFL.
Probably the AAF.
Yeah, the AAF. That's what it was. That's where Quentin Patton was the next year.
All right, next one. The Houston Texans announced they're moving backup quarterback Jeff Driscoll to pass catcher and tight end. Touchdown or turnover for the Texans?
I mean, shit. Everybody said he was running like a 4.5 when he was at Florida and then went to Louisiana Tech to finish his career. And his Madden rating, speed, and agility and acceleration are like pretty good. So, shit. If you ain't got nobody else who can play tight end, you might as well throw Driscoll out there. He might as well be Taysom Hill 2.0.
I mean, didn't you just drag the Jaguars for converting Tebow to tight end?
No, I dragged them for being stupid as fuck. I dragged them for drafting Travis Etienne and then
I'm
making
just
him a
saying,
wide
there's
receiver
no tight ends out there.
when
you could've
James
picked
Robinson
up.
was already there.
But see, Tebow wasn't necessarily athletic, whereas Jeff Driscoll has
Speed.
he has a
Yeah,
little
I
bit of
get it,
athleticism.
man.
And
But still,
wiggle.
It reeks of desperation.
yeah.
Who else they
Which
gonna
they're
get?
desperate. The Houston Texans are
They're
desperate.
trying to fill holes at every position. Hey, bro, when they like tried to give away Vernon Hargreaves on waivers, and they just have to cut him outright.
I just feel bad. Like, hey, man, I've been working as a mechanic for 20 years, and you're gonna just hire this computer engineer to be a mechanic now? Like, damn.
Happens all
That's
the time.
how the world works.
Hey man, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes, sir. That's for sure. All right, you got one or
I got one. So, quick back to college football, real quick. I actually got two. The first one, Mel Tucker, the head coach at Michigan State. Somehow Michigan's ranked higher than them, even though Michigan State beat their ass on the field, and we all saw it. There's rumors that the boosters are putting together a package for him to stay at Michigan State. 10 years, $95 million would make him the highest African head coach in any sport or any level of football.
That's a touchdown.
Why would it not be a touchdown?
Because I mean,
It's
USC's
Michigan State.
Nah,
USC's open. Florida's going to
Nah.
be open.
Listen,
Miami's probably going to be open.
listen. You just literally-
LSU's open.
We know Michigan State is not quick to
They
move from coach to coach.
They don't produce
Mike
QBs.
D'Antonio had been there for. It's
15.
Mike D'Antonio, right?
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
D'Antonio.
Mike D'Antonio had been there.
15 years.
I was
Didn't
gonna
put
say
out
10.
one good quarterback.
Yeah,
Never.
Kirk Cousins
don't count.
Kirk Cousins was the highlight of their program, but he's literally he's going to do. Nick Saban didn't win at Michigan State, right? So for him to leave to go to like the likes of an LSU or go to a USC, where the expectation is you're going to turn this around right now, whereas I can get 10 years, 95 mil. I'm like, you're literally putting me in the echelon of Nick Saban, and I haven't won a title. All I've done was beat Michigan.
But the mediocrity of being in Michigan State.
It doesn't.
He was
matter.
only at Colorado for like 1 year. and
Listen,
turned them
he
around.
has job security. And he's getting paid more.
Michigan State's still toxic environment.
I mean,
Larry
Franklin's
Nassar's.
pretty much in the same situation at Penn State.
Yeah, why
Mm,
You
leave?
don't want to leave.
Why leave?
I mean, if you can be the LSU head coach,
Who
that recruits itself.
who's won more than freaking Les Miles at LSU?
Well, Ed Orgeron won a ring in way less time.
Did
Saban won
Les
a ring, too.
did Les Miles win a ring?
Yeah, but he choked off.
Okay, when was the last
He
time?
choked off the
when-
national title with
hold-
Odell
hold
and
on,
Jeremy Hill
hold
and
on.
Benberger.
No, I agree with that. When was the last time Les Miles lost 7 games in a season?
When he was at Kansas and got fired.
Oh,
and-
Kansas.
And then his last year at LSU, he was kind of trash.
Oh, kind of trash, but it wasn't Ed Orgeron bad, right?
It was kind of similar.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't this bad.
LSU with
LSU thought that they had the cachet, the national cachet,
to keep him another year.
to just go replace him with the next hottest coach, and we'll retool and reboot, and we can recruit, and we'll compete with Alabama. How's that turning out?
Mel Tucker's that dude though.
Mel Tucker. And so if you can build your own
He's not beating Ohio
program.
State.
Mel Tucker will beat Ohio State in the next 2 years.
Is he out recruiting Ohio State?
He will.
No, he's not. Though.
Yes, he
he's
will.
not though.
Yes, he will.
It's Michigan State, bro.
Exactly.
It's
And guess
Michigan
what-
State.
Guess what though? They got boosters.
Shit, Magic got all his money tied up in the Dodgers. So I don't know what you mean.
They got Draymond.
Draymond's cheap ass.
Draymond not cheap. Draymond gave the school like $5 million to build a
Draymond
sports
was like,
facility.
"Hey, female athletes, shut up and stop talking about what you gonna get paid."
They got the Draymond Green like training facility. Like, what are you talking about? Draymond chipped them off.
Okay, he did chip him off. And is Tom Izzo gone?
No, he's still there.
Damn, Tom Izzo is still there. Shit. Well, anyway,
Exactly.
when
You're
it comes
proving
to-
my point. This is 2 times in one show.
I don't know.
This is 2 times in one
Like,
show.
Nah, like I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. I like differing opinions, like because if you're on a weak point, I'd be like, nah, that shit was trash. So why'd you come on? But nah, I respect that. No, I respect that. Woo. Besides, like, it's just Michigan State. Like, they've never been a national championship contender
Yay.
like that.
They never had a Mel Tucker.
Bro, they've had hella NFL talent come through there.
Okay, you're talking about talent. I'm talking about coach.
Loaded teams.
I'm talking coach.
that beat Ohio State
They-
before.
Did they have a Mel Tucker?
No.
Okay, that's 3 times in one show.
That's not 3 times. That's the same point. I'm just saying, okay, you're gonna bet 10 years, $95 million when I could go down to Florida
Yep.
and clean up.
Because
Because
you know
Florida
why?
can lose
You know
to the
why?
NFL.
Because you know why? Because I'm gonna see all 10 of these years.
And also, man,
I mean,
I'm gonna see
I'll give you that.
I'm gonna see 95 million.
I'm gonna see at least
Yeah,
and
75
also,
million, 70 million.
There's something to somebody seeing something in you before you're hot.
Exactly.
Like, if they believed in him a year early, that's still a year early than LSU or all the other teams that you named.
Because he said it's not a stepping stone for him.
It's
So,
a
I mean,
But,
cornerstone.
but Colorado,
He
And
can.
then-
He can.
Colorado's definitely a stepping stone.
He
Shout
could
out
be.
to
He could be
Carterell.
Michigan State's Lou Holtz. He could
First
be
off,
Michigan State's Nick Saban.
That's a bad example because who else was a racist piece of shit. But like,
Who you want me to say? Jerry Sandusky?
that's even worse.
Exactly.
Pick a successful black college head coach, please.
Name one.
That's fucked up.
Exactly my point.
Don't give me some. Hold on, wait, no. We're not gonna do that. Tyrone Willingham was pretty successful. Carl Durrell was the only coach
At UCLA?
the most
Or at Notre
impressive-
Dame?
He had the most no. No, that was talking about Tyrone Willingham.
Tyrone Willingham was at Notre Dame and freaking did not win.
Washington, he had a couple of successful years. And then,
What did he win? What
like
did
2 years. I don't fucking remember.
Okay, he
A
did.
long time.
That's 4 times in one
That's
year.
3. That's 3 years. I'll give you 3. But okay, Carl Durrell had the most decisive USC victory.
UCLA victory?
Yeah, against USC in decades.
And guess
didn't win
what?
anything.
Didn't win anything.
Doesn't fucking matter. They fired him. He beat Oklahoma in the same year.
Guess what?
With Adrian Peterson, bro. Like,
Guess what?
he had way better than Mora
He
and
did it.
fucking what's his face.
Neuheisel. They never
USC
had.
was on probation.
They never had a top 10 recruiting class.
They had Maurice Jones-Drew and Mercedes
You're
Lewis.
naming 1 and 2 players. They
Bro.
never had a top 10 recruiting
They should.
class.
That's fine.
UCLA doesn't listen.
They naturally.
In this
that's
year,
like Dan Guerrero.
you about to have no. We
That
don't
was the
have.
prime
We
of Dan Guerrero,
don't have
bro.
Dan Guerrero anymore.
Yeah,
All right,
but
shout
that
out
was
to
the height
Martin
of Dan
Jarmine.
Guerrero.
Martin Jarmine has UCLA heading in the right direction.
Now-
We're officially a Jordan Brand school, which means we get the big dollars. And if they need me to drop off bags, guess what? I'm doing it. All right.
I mean, are you skimming some? Are you skimming the feed? Are you taking some? Are you taking some off the top? Like your liaison
Can you leave some over here?
Man, listen.
sponsorship?
Mel Tucker is in a position to do something that no black head coach has done. And that's literally build a contender year in and year out.
So would you rather have Mel Tucker or Chip Kelly?
Mel Tucker.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So you're okay with Chip Kelly getting fired? Cool.
I said this like week 3.
I've been saying
Damn,
that
bro.
too.
Oh, I got one more. So Drake said, "Go Dogs." Touchdown and turnover.
Oh man, that's a turnover. Drake curse.
Definitely a turn.
I hope Drake says, "I hate Kenneth Berry," and I hope he never succeeds in life. That's how I know I'm gonna win. If Drake says like, "She owes me any money," come over. Oh fuck! I'm just kill myself. It's over, bro. Drake said, "I'm gonna do it."
Drake had to, you know, like be like one of the biggest Robert Saleh supporters, because you know that dude turned into a pumpkin like overnight, man.
Remember Max McClung? He was on his head too.
Yeah,
Drake be clout chasing high schoolers randomly, and it's kind of weird.
man. Don't even get me started on Drake. Drake is a cloud chaser. He takes Drake has no style. He has no identity. He takes
really-
everybody else's.
He's into me, but he really clout chased like
He's a chameleon.
Kanye, and then made people turn on Kanye. But a whole nother story. He really was.
Where's the other one? There?
People need to stop saying Lane Kiffin's going to Miami because that would be stupid.
Lame.
Why would you leave Ole Miss where you're just putting out video game numbers?
All right, let's make this one quick. Take or tangent. You got a hot take. You got a tangent story you want to go on. Whatever. All right, first one up. I'm gonna fuck up his name.
You want me to see it and say it?
Naeem Hines.
Oh, you did it.
All right.
Yeah.
See, fuck you, Kenny. I got one. I got one this year. All right. Naeem Hines, he fanboyed for Tavon Austin on the HBO Hard Knocks.
Bro, Taven for a bust.
You got to take her tangent on that.
Wait,
First off-
was Tavon in college? Was his like
yeah,
college?
he said I still listen to his mix. I still watch his mixtape. Okay, first off, for those of y'all who don't know, Reggie Bush had one of the greatest highlight tapes of all time. Percy Harvin had better highlights than Tavon Austin. West Virginia didn't play no
Slayton?
fucking body. Yeah, Steve Slayton too. Pat White. Shit.
Javid Best.
Javid Best. Even when he fucking almost cracked his skull open and had a
McFadden?
seizure in the end zone. McFadden. Hell, Peyton Hillis had a couple runs in college, believe it or not. Felix Jones. There's so many more people that I can think of.
Tommy
Okay.
Frazier.
Here's the thing. I have a cutoff for like once you get like before the 80s, bro. Like I don't know if I can.
He was in the
count you.
90s.
Wasn't it like was it early 90s or was
Yeah, it was early 90s.
so okay, fine. So 92 is the cutoff.
Okay.
Before he was born.
Oh, okay.
I'm 29, so like we gotta go 30-year increments, bro. We can't say like
I mean, I don't know. Like you said, highlight tape. That's all on YouTube.
no, but like his highlight tape wasn't put together by him right then and there. It's just like Heisman.
You think Reggie Bush actually put together his own highlight tape?
I think he did. I think he paid somebody to do it.
Nah, man.
I think he had several.
If
on the
he
cut.
paid somebody to do it, then he didn't do it himself.
I think he did. He's like, pick that one, and that one, and just put that shit together for me. But
He probably had some fucking Academy Award winner on the very bottom of the screen who was at USC that day. Put that shit.
yeah,
together
a student
for him.
probably helped him do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, yeah,
I'm sure at that time they had fucking mixtape office hours, bro. Like
Yeah,
they
they
probably
really-
just had interns and everyone just went in there. and
Tavon
got fucking
Austin
mixtape.
has one of the most well put together mixtapes, but he played in a gimmick offense, was a bust in the NFL. I don't know why the fuck they took him at 8 overall.
The Rams
Dang.
gave him a bag though.
Javid Best had a good NFL.
No,
grade?
Java Best wasn't a bust though. He like was running
got
for
hurt.
1,000 yards. He just had fucking
Concussion
seizures
problems.
and way too many concussions. Like I was rooting for him. 4.3 speed out of Cal, was a dog and everybody knew it. Psh. But like I just I'm kind of over like if you're striving to be like Tavon Austin, then really what are you trying to be? Because it really wasn't anything special once he got to the league. And like
Percy Harvin
They-
wasn't anything special.
Percy Harvin was special. And he punched out Golden Tate. Percy Harvin literally as a freshman went like 80 yards
So-
to the house against
So back
Alabama.
then we're even talking about
So-
Percy Harvin after what a year and a half of
And I don't even think he had
Play?
1,000-yard
They played?
receiving
So
season.
what was Percy Harvin's like career highlight?
When he had a kickoff return in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. So that
When
one
his whole
play?
Vikings career, when he was damn near All-Pro in special teams, when Brett Favre got there,
oh,
then
so
he took
he
the game to another
was a
level.
first round pick that excelled on special teams.
That's disrespectful. He excelled as a receiver. They used him as everything.
No,
though.
I mean,
He was a running back, a receiver,
everything you're
and
saying,
teams.
because everything you're telling me is on special teams.
I said he excelled at. Like
Hey,
they put him
that's
at a
the
bunch of
third
stuff.
most important part of the game.
Like he was a Pro Bowler. Like he put up yards. It's not his fault that they
So
said,
he
okay,
was like Cordarrelle Patterson.
And I will remind you,
Better
a special teams coach beat you to win a Super Bowl.
yeah,
Okay.
that takes one off your overall score. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, but we're talking about Percy Harvin. We're not talking about John Harbaugh.
And Jacoby Jones scored a touchdown against the Niners. So special teams, it matters. But no, like
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're drafting, I mean, you're the GM, right? And you know
but
everything.
Percy
So,
Harvin was definitely better than.
so
Tavon
I'm just
Austin.
saying, as long as I
Statistically.
know you're drafting special teamers in the first
He was
round,
an offensive. He was an offensive beast, bro. He was a playmaker on offense.
he was a play because you said
He scored
he
on offense, defense, and special teams.
He scored on defense too.
I didn't say defense. I meant-
You
This man is talking out of his ass.
Offense and special teams.
Oh, okay.
Which technically can be defense, but fuck it.
so
Like,
so he's
you
like
got
Joshua Cribbs.
Freudian slip. Freudian slip.
So he's like Joshua
That's
Cribbs.
sick. That's a sick ass comparison. That's a sick ass comparison, bro. Why you shitting on?
So
Percy
you're not
Harvin?
putting Hester in the Hall of Fame.
Hester's,
He's the greatest returner. Yeah.
So he's getting in the Hall of
Hester
Fame.
has to be.
He's just gonna wait 10 years if you're voting.
I mean, I'm
Wait
not
30
I'm not
years.
voting him in. I'm not voting him in.
They're gonna make him wait 30 years, bro.
He can get in like with the like OG crew, like with
You can't get in with a punter.
You said what?
If you can get a lead punter in,
Yeah, Hunter had to wait 50 years.
well, that's because he was a Raider. They only made Ray Guy wait because they only make Raiders wait like that. Steelers get in every fucking year, but
Listen,
Bottom.
man.
I'm just saying Percy Harvin was a much better mixtape than Tavon Austin. But it's
Okay,
like
cool.
I think just because athletes want to play in a wide open system like West Virginia had with Rich Rodriguez, so all those touches look cool. But I mean, if you're supposed to go like 70 to the house against Marshall, and that Clemson defense was ass. So of course you dropping 70. By
I
the
just
way,
think it's cool.
Geno Smith was there too. So
I just think it's cool because sometimes athletes get into that mindset of like, oh, I'm the shit, I'm this, I'm that. But it's like
they fanboy. That's cool.
there are people that influence you around the way, like on the come up. Like they said that he said they were from the same area. So it's like
Yeah, it was even better.
that's real. Like that's real to me. That's in all the rumors and all the bullshit that we talk about, like that's real football. That's real respect. Like
And Aheems was a baller at North Carolina State.
so I fuck with that. I think it's cool.
He shot on the Jets defense too. I wish I missed him on the waiver wire, but it happens.
But I mean, Himes is kind of a gadget player too. So
He is exact, but he can run the ball a little bit. but he's definitely more of a gadget player. They don't really use him on returns as much as they should, but
All right, next one.
free Marlon Mack though.
They should have
Damn.
drafted him in the first round, and maybe they would play.
Sick. This man Himes left because he knew what was happening. Did Himes leave because he knew like, oh shit.
Wait, what is Debo Samuel then?
Debo's a threat. He's taking it to. He's running people over. He's not a gadget player.
He's run after the catch, which is
he's
the same
not a
thing as
gadget
Percy
player.
Harvin.
He's not a gadget
He's
player.
gadget
I watched him at the
adjacent.
Senior Bowl.
He's gadget adjacent.
He's gadget adjacent. Now he's stealing our verbiage. Damn it.
All right. Antonio Brown is accused of using a fake vaccine card. You got to take or a tangent on that. Start with you, Eric.
I'm gonna go take, man. There's no way to. I mean, I saw the alleged text message. It didn't come from Antonio Brown. It came from somebody in his camp. Anybody could say anything.
His chef.
His chef could be saying anything. I mean, the only way for this to come out true is, you know, they have to investigate. And is there a system where they can check to see?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be digitally at some point. I don't know. I think it varies by state.
Yeah, see, and
Yeah.
that's, I mean, this is the issue that I have with like this whole like
America
right now. It's like this has just been like, okay, we're going to do this. Okay,
Yeah.
well, how are we going to verify that like people actually did it? Oh, I don't know. Like we're going to use the honor system. So I mean,
I just hate the whole like, hey, you guys need to do this, but not really. It's gonna be up to you by state. Like,
yeah. Either everybody
pick a
does
side.
it. Like either everybody does
Nobody
it.
does it.
Nobody does it.
Yeah, like okay.
And see, personally, I think there should be like two categories: those with antibodies and those without antibodies. Because then people who may have contracted COVID and recovered, they have the antibodies and they might not want to get, you know what I'm saying, the vaccine. But guess what? They have the antibodies. So, you know, they're cool. And then you have people who haven't contracted COVID and people who haven't, you know what I'm saying, gotten the vaccine. Then those individuals need, you know, special attention. But yeah, man, I'm not in charge, man. I just, you know, I don't know anything.
Kenny.
For my opinion, or do I have another one?
Whatever you want to say. Take your tangent on Antonio Brown using a fake vax card.
I mean, it's Antonio Brown. Are you really shocked? He put out a mixtape that was fucking awful in a video, trying to be a fake ass Bobby Brown.
I could see him being
Like he was acting like Bobby Brown on bad coke. Like it was bad.
He was trying to be Dion, bro.
Like he smoked, like he snorted some fucking.
Yo, that Tony Montana.
No, like he just straight up snorted.
He probably put God's phone number on his vax card.
Sick.
Man.
That man was out here snorting laundry detergent. But
All
like,
right.
I got one. So Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma's head coach, allegedly offered an 8-year, $96 million contract for LSU, and Oklahoma ain't gonna match that shit. And he could also be taking Caleb Williams and other players with him through the transfer portal, or he could go to USC because he clearly is a quarterback whisperer. So Lincoln Riley and his prospects of leaving Oklahoma high and dry. Take a tangent.
You getting ready to go? I'm gonna go take. You getting ready to move to the SEC? You can stay at Oklahoma.
They gonna be moving to the SEC. You offer me 8 years, $96 million to LSU, Lincoln Riley?
No, I mean, regardless, if he stayed at Oklahoma, he would still be going to the SEC.
Yeah.
Who is really anticipating or expecting Oklahoma to win in the SEC? Not me. Texas, not me. So go on and get your long-term longevity, you know what I'm saying, and just win, you know, beat Missouri and Vanderbilt and Texas and, you know, have a 4-win season, 5-win season, and that'll be, you know, decent for Oklahoma. But going to LSU, you're going there with championship aspirations. You go to USC, that's championship aspirations. You don't win within the next 2-3 years, you're out of there. So just stay at Oklahoma.
Lincoln Riley, you sure they don't give him extra time if he develops elite quarterbacks at USC? Which
How long has Ed Orgeron been at LSU?
3
years. I thought it's 3 years.
Well, he was an assistant and then he became a coach. So
you don't have
3-4 years.
You don't have You don't have 4 years. You don't have 3 years.
But Lincoln Riley wasn't bringing his side bitches kids in the football drills.
Don't matter.
Bro,
Don't matter.
his side pieces kids were in the football drills fucking up practice.
Don't matter, bro.
And Orgeron was a wild motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, man. That's
Lincoln Riley ain't
bad.
doing that. He's a bachelor.
Have you met Ed Orgeron?
Nah, but I'm not.
Listen,
I'm not surprised.
Ed
It's a
Orgeron-
grizzly motherfucker.
listen. I went to a Glacier camp at USC. And Ed Orgeron was recruiting. Ed Orgeron never stops recruiting, first and foremost. Ed Orgeron is exactly how you see him on the sideline, bro.
I believe
Exactly how he is, like in interviews. That's Ed, that's who he is. So I'm not surprised that he's look, bro. If this is gonna, get me the box, cool. You can come, you know what I'm saying? Hold a tackling dummy. You could throw a ball. Hey, cool. No problem.
With a 6-win team and all your best players.
Guess
hurt?
what though? I'm beating down your mom.
Yeah, that's a win. Yeah.
That's a win.
Like, what if it's a recruit's mom though?
Guess what? I'm beating down your mom.
So damn, you gotta stay and become a star or just leave.
I'll just say this, man. I think
That's
we
fucked
spent
up.
way too much fucking time just talking about coaches in general. Like maybe the coaching bubble is finally popping, and maybe coaches are just overrated.
Well,
Good coaches are hard to find, and the good ones I think are stuck as like positional coaches in high school and on junior college, campuses, not really given the opportunity. I know too many Black and Latino coaches that would excel if given the opportunity to coach, but they're never given a light of day.
Well, even just looking at the NFL, like this whole rookie class, you can pretty much throw away.
circumstantial.
It depends on which team, because
Eagles draft picks for sure.
There are always
Which other rookie head coaches do you feel like is on the right track this
Brandon
year?
Staley.
Okay, that's one.
But he
He
inherited
fell
the
into
team.
a great program.
He inherited.
Did he fall into a great? Because it's
He had talent, and he's the direction.
yeah, I wouldn't say he fell into a. It's almost the same team that Anthony Lynn couldn't win with.
That hurts. Because I was rooting for Anthony.
I was too, but let's be
I
honest.
see
If
him
we
on a
don't-
college program.
who else is a rookie head coach?
I mean, it didn't
That's
work
it.
out for Lovey.
That's it.
Now, Lovey actually put Illinois on the map, and then they got
Did
sorry. Yeah,
Did
he put
though?
Illinois on the map a little bit back on.
For like half a season?
he had them bowl eligible. He put dudes in the league.
Okay.
You got to give him that.
All right, so basically now we're gonna close out the show. Last segment. This is your 1 to 2 minutes of FaceTime. Tell people whatever you didn't get to say. You can say what you got coming up. Promote yourself. You want to leave words of wisdom, whatever. It's your time. So go ahead. I'll let you start.
Hey, so I just want to shout out my boy Pete and Kenny for giving me an opportunity to hop on the mic with them, talk football, talk shop. It's truly a blessing. These are some really solid dudes. So thank you for that. And to all the listeners, man, just tell your friends and family that you love them, man, because tomorrow is not promised. I think far too often we take our plans for granted. We're going to do this weekend. We're going to do that tomorrow. And for a lot of people, like, they never get to see the light of day. So I just want to encourage everybody, man, to truly view each day as a blessing, as a gift, get right with God. And I want to send a special shout out to the city of Memphis and Young Doss family, man. It's a very tragic situation. He and his bodyguard got lit up like over 50 shots, I want to say. So, man, we got to do better, man. Like, we're the generation to really, end a lot of these curses, man. Like, there's nothing glamorous about these streets. They don't give a damn about not one of us. It's a cold world, no blanket. So, man, just hold on to your friends and your family, man. Call your boys, tell them you love them, man.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know. Like, I knew his music, but I didn't know the backstory. And like learning about it, it's like we not just lose the art, but it's like you lose so much of the business behind it, and that sets people back generations. Like between him, Nipsey, like all these dudes were doing a lot. Juice, like, it's crazy. And all right, so for me, I've been having a pretty crazy couple weeks. I can officially talk about it. I accepted a new job offer.
Hey.
So I'm gonna be doing some startup PR.
Hey.
So be securing the bag a little bit.
Man.
Help me out on my projects as well.
No. Get your flowers real quick.
He in the money. You in the PR business? You getting money.
Yeah, just so I can fuck it off doing this.
But it's all right.
YOLO?
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy search. I've been searching since really I got to my last job, so damn near 4 years. And this past year and a half, I've gone through 20, 30 interviews with so many different agencies, everything from director to damn near coordinator and assistant positions. Like, just made no fucking sense. I mean, nobody knew where to place me. Like, I have a career that I've built in media relations and marketing, and then I also have the fact that I've been fucking grinding in this sports media shit for 7 years by night. Like there's few people in the world who can say, hey, they've worked on the lead advertiser. Like, I was on that FanDuel shit when FanDuel blew up. I did that. I got into the fucking Lakers press room just on my own name, my own merit. We fucking built this podcast, took it to fucking Mobile, Alabama, and hopefully we're going to take it to the fucking combine and the draft. And like,
We will.
And like, people just don't know how to place that because they think, oh, you want more. They're intimidated by your ambition. They're intimidated by the fact that you can cross those boundaries that people say you never should have did. Because guess what? When I was in journalism school, when I was applying for these $18,000 jobs, $20,000 jobs that were going to make me leave my family, leave the kids that I'm now taking care of, like, for what? Just to do my fucking dream? Like, that's what it takes to do a fucking dream? I got to give up everything that's important to me just so I can get a little bit closer to being on fucking Around the Horn? Like, nah, I got to figure something else out. And that's what I've been doing. And now I'm finally like cracking the glass ceiling. I'm not all the way through, but I got a fucking finger through. And most of all, I'm going to bring my fucking people with me because that's what I've been doing this whole way. You know, shout out to the Maynard Institute for Journalism Education. You know, if you're not familiar with them, definitely look them up. They got fellowships, they got trainings, they got all sorts of stuff. It's a great family, great network that goes back 30 years to the first Black editor at the Oakland Tribune. Like, even though I did that for my fucking newsletter, not even related to this, just getting that energy, getting my cup filled, feeling worthy, like that's what I brought into the interview, and I think that's what pushed me over the edge. And now that I'm here, it's fucking exhausting because it's like my girl was telling me, like, I haven't had fucking good news in like 3 years. I didn't even know how to fucking process it. Last week, I was just so fucking happy that on the weekend, when everything was done, it's like I had no more fucking endorphins left. I had no more serotonin. Like, it was a fucking lie. And it's one of the happiest moments of my life. But that's real. Like, that's what it is when you're just fucking running a marathon, just going from thing to thing, fucking trying to make this happen, taking care of fucking 3 teenagers, fucking working a day job. Like, it's a lot. But I'm getting a little bit closer, and it feels fucking good. I'm happy, and hopefully Kenny will get there. Eric will get there. We're all going to get there. We're all going to sit at the fucking table together, break bread, and we're going to bring even more people behind us from the C-Suns, from UCLA, the people who are overlooked, who slept through. And yeah, man, that's about fucking it for me.
That was wonderful. I was gonna crack a joke, but I'll just fucking save that for later.
Don't worry, you still gonna buy me food.
That's true. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'll switch up. Don't worry.
I'm excited to be able to like go back home and visit my grandma like the second week of December. Like this year, I just decided to travel more. Like this is one of those things I haven't seen my grandma in a couple of years. She didn't get to go to my graduation because she got in a car accident and was paralyzed from the waist down. And like before, like my mom and my sister were going home, I would front it so they could go down there, spend time with them, spend a week. I can only spend like 3-4 days, but I'm excited about that. My sister's birthday comes up December 5th. I'm either gonna take her to like a work function where we're gonna Six Flags, or I'm probably just gonna take her to the Rams game, and just let her, she deserves to have her hair down. She's been dealing with a lot. Like my nephew is 6 months old, pretty much, and it's something new every day, and she's learning every day as a new mother, and I'm proud of her. And for me, like 30 is fast approaching. I remember I used to like be scared of it, be worried, but like I was listening to this lady. She said, what would you do if you started acting like you already won? Just realize like you don't have to keep going at this thing in life like you're trying to win. Like if you just approach things like you already won, because you already have won with all the shit you've already been through. And I think about all the shit I've been through, and it's like, yeah, I already won. Like I think about my college degree, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. That's whatever. Like I gotta go do something new. I gotta challenge myself to do something better, even more. And sometimes my mom was like, yo, you already won. You don't have to try this hard. You're really just burning yourself out by doing that. And again, thankful to you for coming in. Thankful to Himes for popping in. He didn't troll, but I know he's gonna probably hit me with a sick burn off the mic. It's cool. Shout out to all the local high schools. Lawndale losing or Hawthorne. They didn't make it past the second round.
Hamilton.
Roosevelt did. Championship coming through Roosevelt.
Inglewood's still in it. Lawndale's Division 4. I checked it. So they're right there with Rose.
15 years ago, we built a fucking program out of a fucking mud. Literally out of a flooded mud.
I felt like it was still built with drug buddy.
Somehow we took that to 30 D1 players. Somehow lives on.
J Mitch.
DBU.
J Mitch.
Shout out to Marcus Williams and go Roosevelt.
But yeah,
be there tomorrow.
I'm just thankful for everything. Like I look at my nephew every day and I'm blessed. And it just gives me the strength to keep going. And also like I'm starting to just kind of embrace, the everyday grind of everything. And being thankful for tackling a new day instead of being like, oh shit, here comes another Wednesday. I can't wait to get to Thursday. So yeah, salute to everybody. Fuck Sean Kingston. That's pretty much it.
Shout out to the Good News Sports. Shout out to S Squad affiliates. Shout out to FPC Radio. Shout out to your favorite podcast app where you can find this, as well as touchdownsandtangents.com. Reach out to us, TDs_tangents, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for listening. Shout out to Himes and Eric. Thanks for popping in. Be good, y'all.
And there's a lunar eclipse tonight. So
Peace. All right, fellas. All right. Thank you, sir. That was fire.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you for keeping this man accountable.
I love it. I was like, all right, Niners, okay. Those are all points I can't argue.
Why are you hiding out in a basketball podcast, though?
Playoffs. We got it. Oh, did you hear about that? Shit, that's what we're talking about. That IE school district. The superintendent, he's getting paid $600,000 a year.
Believe it. I'm surprised. Oh, we're still online.
Yep. Inland Empire, Ontario Montclair School District.